Welcome, guys, to another edition of the Monday Market Report for the week ending September 15th, 2019. I want to thank you guys for joining me on what is bound to be one of the favorites on Blue Ridge Silverhound's channel. I'm your host, Sean. Thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your Sunday evening to pop on in. A lot of you will be seeing this on Monday, which is the general kind of aim for this weekly recap and what is hot and what is not in the coin market. Before I get started, I wanted to throw out a little tribute. Okay, someone very near and dear to my heart got me into coin collecting way back in the early 90s, and that would be my dad. He passed away 14 years ago to the day, and I wanted to throw this quickly out there. Sorry to make it all mushy, but Dad, wherever you're at out there, I love you and thank you. Thank you for raising a semi-decent boy in me. Yeah, I wanted to throw that out there, and thank you for giving me a moment to kind of reminisce on, what coin collecting has done to help me become a little bit closer to my dad over the years before his passing in 2005. But anyways, thank you again. Let's go ahead and jump right into it to the report. And yes, it's business is starting to pick up. There's a lot of coin transactions going on all over the place. Okay, we're going to talk a lot about the great collection stuff that ended today. And you're going to see, again, a wide diversification of various different coins that sold, and they sold for pretty good money. In addition, we have a few more highlighted auctions coming up here in the near future. Heritage Auctions has another signature style auction, which features a lot of those marquee coins. That'll be in October. And then Stax Bowers has their signature choice auction. That'll be here next week, or actually later in the week. So if you're interested in looking for some really nice pieces, both of those auctions are coming up. In addition to all of the other great offerings by like eBay. Great Collections does their weekly auction. Of course, you don't want to miss that as well. And I wanted to kick it off again with the lowest denomination I could find. And we talk about post-1950 moderns. Although, in this episode, you're going to see a few that are dated a little bit earlier that's worth mentioning. Only because I wanted to throw something, a little bit different in there to get your collecting juices flowing. So, sorry for the long rant, but you're going to see this coin come up here. And this is a coin that's a chase piece among cherry pickers. Okay, cherry pickers are those treasure seekers that typically run through, like proof sets or coins at the show or at coin dealers, or they go through coins on eBay, wherever the easiest accessibility to just a wide range of coins. And cherry pickers tend to look for those rare varieties, those errors that not a lot of people know about. They spend regular money on that coin as if it didn't have a variety or an error, and then they end up making money or adding a really nice piece to their collection as a result of finding that coin. This is one of those coins right here. This is a 1990 Lincoln Memorial Cent. Of course, this is a proof coin, and no, it is not a Philadelphia struck example. This one, believe it or not, is missing the S mint mark for San Francisco. So you do come across a few of these on occasion, okay? If you're able to find one, they're worth a lot of money. In the case of this NGC graded Proof 69 Red Ultra Cameo, this one sold on Great Collections this evening for $3,172.50. Quite a bit of money still. I haven't seen a ton of drop-off at their peak for this particular grade. We've seen this coin sell between $4,000 to $5,000. It's dropped off a little bit, and that's all as a result of just some extra material coming out into the marketplace. Not quite flooding it, but there's better availability for a coin of this type. The next coin that I wanted to highlight on a report is this 1954D Lincoln Wheat Cent. Of course, one of the more common dated coins in the 1950s. Actually, they're all pretty common, but this one, pretty common. Many millions were made. This is a PCGS Mint State 67 Plus red example, so it is the finest of the finest for this particular date and mint mark. This one sold for $1,181.25. A really nice registry set example. So the next one that I want to talk about here is another 1954 Lincoln wheat cent. However, this one is a proof. And for those of you that dabble in the proof coins from the 40s and 50s, some of you know how difficult it is to find examples that exhibit a full cameo contrast with those mirrored fields. Usually it's all mirrored out on these with nary a frost on some of those higher relief features on the coin. This one is a really nice deep cameo example. As a matter of fact, it's a PCGS Proof 67 Plus full red example, and this one sold for $3,375. Proof is in there that coins of this caliber and with this kind of eye appeal sell. There are a lot of buyers for these coins. All right. So here's one of those coins I said that, you know, would be a few years earlier than the requisite 1950 date that I usually push on the Monday Market Report coins. This is a 1948 Lincoln wheat cent. This is a really nice specimen, an NGC Mint State 67 Plus full red, and this one sold for $1,744.88. There's not a whole lot that you can say about this coin. It's an obvious registry set inclusion. It's nice to see a coin of this type in an NGC graded slab. And again, people are trusting NGC a lot more these days when, you know, PCGS is either too expensive or, you know, their grading is just way too stringent on certain criteria. And this is a really nice, acceptable example in the mix. All right, so we have a few Jefferson nickels, actually two to be exact, and the first one that you see here is what I would consider to be the ho-hum coin of the bunch. It's a 1963 Jefferson nickel. This one is a PCGS Mint State 66 Plus. However, this one has full steps, and you guys know how I feel about coins that look like this. Now, the image is not, you know, pristine, so being able to kind of nitpick at the steps on this coin is a little bit difficult. The white balance is just way too off on this one to make that assessment. But this is one of those dates that lack a lot of luster. They lack a lot of great strike on them. But this one right here, PCGS felt confident in giving it a full steps grade, even though I might be on the contrarian side of, you know, of the grade of this coin. It looks like it has way too many planchet nicks for it to be a mint state or a full state coin. Full steps. Yeah, I'm mixing up my terminology. But this one sold for $1,182.38 on GC this evening. So we have another coin here that's just a shade older than 1950. It's a 1946 Jefferson nickel. This date seems to be much more well struck than all the other ones from the 50s and even into the early 60s. This one is a PCGS Mint State 66 Plus with full steps, and this one sold for $1,743.75 this evening. So I have one kind of like toss-up coin that I just wanted to throw in there only because it was cool to see a coin like this. I own this coin, not this one specifically, but I own a 1942 Mercury dime proof. These are kind of tough to find. Not a lot of them were produced, and you know, a few thousand of them. But this one right here is one of the finest graded examples, and based on the amount of money it sold for, you can see why. It's a PCGS graded Proof 69. It has no cameo whatsoever. It's just really nice. It is a CAC certified coin. It does have some really nice edge toning, which indicates it might have been in a holder or an album at one point. But to give you an idea of how popular these coins are, especially with, you know, like the Walking Liberty half dollar and the Mercury, two of the most popular kind of series types, this one sold for $98,437.50. Nearly $100,000. All right, and someone plopped that kind of money on this coin, and at the end of the day, it is worth it. Okay, this is someone's kind of chase piece, statement example for their collection. Really nice chef's kiss type of coin here. So we do have a couple Washington quarters. Okay, the first one that we have here is a 1954. This is a Sunset Collection provenance, and this one is a PCGS Mint State 67 Plus, also CAC certified, and this one also exhibits some toning on there. This one sold this evening for $1,901.25. Pretty nice registry type example, nice high grade. Pretty tough to find with their originality too. So the next one that we have here is going to be a 1950D. This is a Denver minted Washington quarter. This one, however, is a PCGS Mint State 67. Nice high grade, okay? And it also exhibits some really nice, pleasing coloring, more toward the originality side than just a kind of like the beast mode style of toning that you see on coins, where it commands like an additional 30 to 40% premium over their list price. This one sold for $1,237.50 this evening on Great Collections. So I wanted to highlight a really special looking candy half dollar here. We all love the 40 percenters. Okay, we're not going to balk at a 40% half dollar when we come across it, say, coin roll hunting. But this one right here, really tough to find in this grade style. It's a 1967. Okay, this one is an NGC Mint State 67 star. Now the star simply designates really nice eye appeal, as you can see on the obverse of this coin with the yellows and just a lot of color happening. More on the pastel-y side, kind of lighter, not as electric as some of them that I've seen, but people love this type of toning and this originality. Okay, it's subtle, yet it makes a statement all on its own. This one sold for $3,150, a maximum premium for that additional color. Plus the grade's not too shabby. Okay, it's one of the top graded coins out there. All right, so we also have a Franklin half dollar. Okay, in the case of the 1960 example that you see here, it is a proof coin. And this is a date in which it's difficult to find really full cameo contrast like you see here. I mean, this one is really, really nice. You have really a lot of the ghostly white features on here, contrasted against simply just deep dark, kind of like watery reflective fields there. This one is a PCGS Proof 68 Plus Deep Cameo, CAC certified, and this one brought home all of the change for $2,925. A really nice example, and it found a new home for just a shade under $3,000. All right, so the next one that we have here is another Franklin half dollar. This one, however, is a 1957. This one is also a former Sunset Collection provenance piece, and this is an NGC Mint State 67 with full bell lines. It also has some nice original toning, albeit a little bit on the grayish, kind of bluish dark side. Not my perennial favorite, but again, it leads to the originality of the coin. It's never been dipped or played with. This one sold for $1,293.75. All right, so the last regular coin that I wanted to talk about before we get into the big bomb of the week, which ironically is a Heritage Auctions Long Beach coin. This is the last, excuse me, this is the last great collections piece of the bunch that's worth mentioning, only because it sticks out there as like, I can't believe that thing sold for that kind of money. And it's a 2009 P, it's a Philadelphia minted coin, John Tyler presidential dollar. Okay, what makes this unique and valuable, okay, it sold for $1,350, by the way. But this was one of those first day of issue releases that I think when you go to submit this through PCGS, it has to fall under that first, I believe, 7 days of release in order to get the first day of issue attribution on the label. Okay, people love collecting these. Okay, and there are actually a number of presidential dollar collectors that deal with the missing edge lettering and the doubled edge lettering and all the different variants for each president. Some more rare than the others. but they also collect this slab. Okay, believe it or not, 95% of the value that you see here is all absorbed into the actual plastic and not the coin, which is crazy. But someone dropped $1,350 for this coin here. So we are going to end it off on a coin that I would affectionately refer to in this video as being the most significant Long Beach coin in terms of modern rarity that's sold during the Long Beach sale. Okay, this coin here is a 1964 Lincoln Memorial cent. Okay, and there is one such caveat coming here momentarily, but theoretically this was a coin that over 2.6 billion pieces were produced. Or was it? Think about it for a second. But this coin right here hammered in at $11,400 through Heritage Auctions Long Beach sale. Now, I said there was that one little rub that kind of sets this one apart from the other 2.6 billion. And it doesn't necessarily make it an accessible coin, okay, for this one reason. In 1964, the U.S. Mint were doing trial strikes for the upcoming special mint sets. Keep in mind, I don't know if some of you know or remember, but the U.S. Mint decided to give the proof set a break, so to speak, in 1964. But yet, the collecting public still wanted that high grade, kind of high manufacturer quality coin. So the U.S. Mint has decided, okay, we are going to help you out here. We are going to produce a special mint set coin, which kind of creates and morphs together a business strike, which is a coin made for circulation, and a proof coin, and they meld it together into what you see here. Now, the coin doesn't scream anything special, but it is more sharply struck than any other Lincoln cent, especially on the business strike side. But this coin right here was one of those trial strikes on the newly prepared dies for these special mint sets. Okay, they differ slightly than a regular proof set die, where, you know, on a proof set die, you have like the really high polished dies that they use, whereas on the special mint set, they didn't necessarily go through that kind of maintenance to ensure that the dies were fully mirrored or they had the contrast, the cameo on there, things of that nature. All it is it's a coin that's really well struck with really sharp, squared off edges, really blocky, you know, just like if you looked at it, you're like, oh man, that thing was laser etched and it looks awesome. Okay, that's how you're going to differentiate one and the other. Unfortunately, there are less than 10 known sets examples that were ever distributed or sold, okay, by a gentleman by the name of Lester Merkin, who had obtained all of the sets from the then U.S. Mint director. All right, so you know it's not something that say, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out and change and find this example. Your best bet is to maybe find one at a coin shop somewhere that nobody knows that is a special mint set, and it'll look a whole lot different than your traditional business strike coin or proof example. It's one of those things, you know. It's like it's a lottery shot odds. It might even be worse than that, but it's a coin, you know, that people are looking for. Okay, and there's not many of them out there. So that's going to conclude this first portion. I'm actually going to do a bigger coverage kind of deal tomorrow for the Long Beach sales. We're going to talk about like my top 10 favorite coins that sold, you know, on there. We're going to talk about them and kind of make it its own separate little video. All right, so you guys stay tuned for that. It's going to be extraordinary. And a lot of great stuff sold, by the way. So anyways, that's going to wrap it up for the Monday market report for the week ending September 15th, 2019. An ode to my dad. Thank you, sir, for giving me the gift of coin knowledge. You know, to some it's not important, but to me it's my livelihood. But I want to thank you guys for joining in through the duration of every bit of the almost 20 minutes of this video. Thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like, share, subscribe. Would love to hear what was your favorite coin out of this bunch. Was there a coin that stood out or you wanted to, you know, be kind of critical about it? That's fine too. But I want to thank you guys for all the support and all the views. Hit the bell for instant notification and make sure you have that setting put on public so that way you do receive the notifications. You guys have a pleasant evening. Enjoy your Monday. Don't work too hard, and keep collecting. Enjoy it.